Naruto, Konoha 11's 10 Best Fights, Ranked. Even less powerful shinobi can make a difference with a little patience and given the right circumstances. The Konoha 11 were originally a group of genin introduced in the Naruto universe near the beginning of the Chunin exam. At the time, they embodied peers and rivals for Team 7 to grow alongside and strive to overcome. Although much of the series' attention was diverted to Naruto and Sasuke, the 11 still had an ample opportunity to shine in its show's 700-episode lifespan. 10. Ino's fight against Sakura helped them both grow as kunoichi. One of the earliest rounds of the Chunin exam was Sakura's match against Ino. Given that the two kunoichi shared an obsession with Sasuke Uchiha, the fight was a culmination of their long-eroding friendship. While Ino was able to subject her opponent to the mind transfer jutsu, Sakura broke out of it with willpower alone. Nonetheless, since she had yet to train under Tsunade, the two engaged in a straightforward fight that ended in a tie. Although the outcome was inconclusive, it gave both ninja the incentive to further hone their skills and become as strong as possible. 9. Niji's fight against Kidamaru was a decent display of intelligence. Niji's fight against Kidamaru provided an opportunity for redemption after the arrogance he displayed toward Naruto. The Sound 4 lieutenant had a significant advantage in terrain. Tall trees and endless minions facilitated his attacks and quickly left his Konoha opponent fatigued. Nevertheless, Niji powered through his injuries, using Kidamaru's own spidery tethers against him to force a melee fight. Although the Byakugan user managed to kill the villain, he suffered serious wounds throughout the battle and was in critical condition by the time he was carried to the village's hospital. 8. Hinata saved the entire village by standing up to Pain. After Pain managed to subdue Naruto by pinning him down with rods, Hinata intervened on his behalf and took a stand against the Akatsuki leader. This was much to the distress of the surviving Leaf Shinobi, as they correctly assumed that she wasn't strong enough to defeat him. Nonetheless, her sacrifice impressed Naruto and reflected his tenacity. The only way Hinata's fight could have been more legendary is if she caused any damage to her opponent, rather than only buying her love interest the time he needed to recover. 7. Kiba's fight against Naruto matched wits against ferocity. Kiba's fight against Naruto was his first and one of his only chances to display his skills. Having found the knucklehead ninja a nuisance since childhood, he immediately took an aggressive approach to their battle, making full use of his canine attributes. In the end, it wasn't Naruto's shadow clones that saved the day. Instead, he farted directly into Kiba's face as the genin lunged for his flank. This overwhelmed his keen sense of smell and provided the Team 7 ninja with the chance he needed to swing the battle back in his favor. 6. Shino subdued the terrifying Kankuro with misdirection intelligence. After Orochimaru launched his invasion on the Leaf Village, the match between Shino and Kankuro was cancelled. Given the latter's arrogance, Shino was disappointed at having missed their opportunity to fight and pursued him through the forest to take matters into his own hands. He successfully overwhelmed the Sand Ninja by planting a pheromone bug on his clothing. It served as a homing signal for his other beetles, allowing them to crawl up the puppeteer's body and envelop him from head to toe. 5. Choji's battle with Jirobo helped him overcome his insecurity. Choji was the first of Shikamaru's team to be dispatched in order to defeat a member of the Sound 4. At first, it seemed as if he was in over his head as Jirobo possessed significantly higher strength, especially after harnessing the power of the curse mark. By taking the red spinach pill, Choji gave himself the boost he needed to turn the fight back in his favor and defeat his towering opponent. However, it took an immense toll on his body and almost killed him. 4. Shikamaru avenged Asuma by defeating Haiden. After Asuma's death, Shikamaru was consumed by the singular desire to avenge him. To do so, he captured Haiden in a shadow possession jutsu and forced him away from Kakuzu. Counting on Choji, Naruto, and Kakashi to the other Akatsuki member at bay. Eventually, he guided him into a paper bomb trap and detonated all of his explosives simultaneously. Although his plan didn't technically kill Haiden, it buried him alive beneath a mountain of rubble and introduced him to a fate far worse than death. 3. Sakura finally came into her own after defeating Sasori. Sakura was arguably one of the most qualified ninja alive to fight Sasori. Her extensive knowledge of medical jutsu and healing elixirs allowed her to create an antidote to the poison that Sasori specifically designed to be incurable. She willingly allowed Chio to use her body as a puppet since the old woman's experience would provide her with superb reflexes. Ultimately, Sasori was skewered on both sides by dolls that had been crafted from his own parents, making for one of the series' most poignant villain deaths. 2. Lee's fight with Gaara matched hard work against natural talent. Rock Lee's fight against Gaara was easily the most defining match of the Chunin exam. It pitted the taijutsu master's hard work against his Jinchuriki opponent's natural talent for battle. Although Lee's removal of leg weights and access to the inner gates granted him significant boons in speed and strength, Gaara managed to exhaust him by having him waste his signature move on a sand clone. As injured as Gaara may have been, he still had enough strength to crush Lee and would have killed him if Might Guy didn't call off the match. 1. Naruto's fight against Sasuke included a redemption arc that lasted over a decade. Although both Madara and Kagaya had been defeated by Team 7, the Fourth Ninja War still had a final grudge to be settled. Sasuke hoped to capitalize on the infinite Tsukuyomi by assassinating the 5 nation leaders and dominating the entire world with the power of the subjugated tailed beasts. Even at the pinnacle of his madness, Naruto valiantly fought against his former comrade, tactically using Sage Chakra in order to keep up with his burgeoning power. The fight concluded in a tie but ended Sasuke's dreams of global conquest.